Thursday, October 9th. Revelations. We arrived at the first company's encampment with anger. They greeted us with sorrow. Ian was desolated. He was always the most emotional of our wizards, and in my opinion, the most honest. When we first entered the city, he was afraid. We all were. But when he overcame that fear, his courage became ours. So seeing him like this, we knew all the mages felt the same, hiding behind rage or silence. But he was the only one brave enough to show it. Magnus and Rogar tried to console him, while Gustav went to Cordelia to plan our next move. Leah was the one who could give the report I cared for, and these events are told through her eyes. Monday, October 6th. The sewers. After I left with the wounded back to Bagrada to join the second company, Cordelia advanced through Felstad with the now complete first company. Cainix and Ian spoke as old friends do, a little too much. But that didn't seem to bother Cordelia, who moved in silence, her mind probably trying to decipher the visions from the well. Suddenly, the three mages stopped and looked around. The company halted, trying to see what our wizards sensed. The connection to Bagrada was gone, interference. After hours of searching, they found cursed totems made by the rats, hidden along the city. They had been following us all this time, and now they isolated us for the ambush. When they destroyed the last totem, it was already too late. The worm was at the city gate. Not a surprise for Cordelia. She had seen that future, though not the one she hoped for. Fate seemed to be playing with them, for they were close to the only viable entrance to the sewers that Leah had found. A crater in a ruined house, large enough for the company to pass. Two corridors led deeper into enemy territory, but Cordelia was acting strangely. She asked Ian to stay, hugged him and Cainix, wished them luck, and chose 5 men to follow her down the left path. She had seen death in her visions and was trying to outwit it, gambling with the fragments she could read from the well. That's why she sent me back to Bagrada. She saw my death and tried to cheat fate. So Ian stayed behind with a fair number of soldiers. Cordelia went with the few who had survived her vision. And Cainix, his future was always uncertain. That's what worried her most about him and Ian. In the middle of the tunnels, both groups were attacked by lurking rats. Passages that seemed blocked were opened by what we now call rat ogres, turning the place into a death trap. Arrows flew. Screams echoed. On the surface, Ian fought to protect the entrance from the ambush above. In vain. Cainix was cornered from both sides, nearly all his men dead. He summoned an earthquake that collapsed the tunnel, burying the vermin and himself beneath the stones. It sealed the entrance, forcing Cordelia to press forward into the enemy's lair. Hours later, she emerged at the camp that Ian had built near the ruins. The gamble worked, for her, but not for Cainix. Ian lost a brother that day. Cordelia hasn't spoken much since. Only Gustav seems able to learn what she discovered down there. Sunday, October 10th. The Silent Tower. We are now deep within the city. Here the buildings stand more intact, spared by the presence of the Silent Tower, a place most wizards avoid at all costs. There are 2 reasons for that. First, the tower radiates a nullifying aura that denies any form of magic. Second, it is home to the Daughters of Iron, a religious order of witch hunters. These women lost fathers, brothers, and husbands to the pointless greed that cursed this city. Now, they hunt every magic user they find, determined to purify Felstad. That makes us a target. We travel with more than enough wizards to draw their wrath. But thanks to Cordelia, we now count the daughters as temporary allies. In the many futures she saw, Cordelia chose the one that, in her words, cost the least. The battle in the rats' tunnels was a nightmare. Cordelia was exhausted, struggling to heal the many wounds suffered by her sworn escort. At one point, a cursed bomb exploded near her, burning her eyes. Yet instead of healing herself before the damage became permanent, she saved her last spell for someone else, a stranger in her fading vision. Deep within the enemy lair, Cordelia found one of the witch hunters, the lone survivor of an expedition that had ventured too deep. She healed her and escorted her out of the sewers. That single act was the reason they didn't kill her when they emerged. Cordelia and her escort were brought to the Silent Tower, once a prison for rogue mages, now the headquarters of the witch hunters. Within the tower, she met Anastasia, leader of the Daughters of Iron, a towering knight surrounded by impossible tales, stories none of us truly believe. Yet, if even half of them are true, she may be one of the most powerful beings in Felstad. Cordelia explained our purpose in the city, and Anastasia allowed us to use the teleporter hidden within the tower to reach the rats' lair by following the same path taken by their doomed expedition. We are now encamped near the tower, across the canal. Our allies do not want us any closer. This morning, the rear ranks arrived with supplies, officially leaving the Temple of Omens abandoned. Tomorrow will be the decisive day, the moment we have long awaited, and for which Cordelia paid a terrible price.
I am Leah, former captain of the First Company. I record here the last deeds of Bagrada's expedition in Felstad, so none of our heroes died in vain, and none of their sacrifices are forgotten. Our experience in Felstad proved one thing. The longer we stayed, the worse it became. So we pushed deeper into the city, determined to find the rat's lair and destroy it as quickly as possible. Every hour spent there could cost lives. Lives we did not want on our conscience. But as we were close to the Daughters of Iron, and the city was strangely quiet, we decided to give the Second Company time to rest, so they could assault the enemy lair at full strength. That was our mistake. On the morning of October 11th, the Second Company moved toward the teleporter of the Silent Tower. They had a full force of soldiers and wizards. The First Company remained behind. Cordelia was blinded, Phoenix was dead, and Ian, well, he was unreliable at that point. So we stayed to protect the tower and its surroundings. I asked Anastasia how often they had to deal with invaders. She answered, "Greed is our enemy. It turns every man in this city against us." I mocked her words in my mind, but deep down I knew there was wisdom in them. Wisdom I simply did not yet understand. A few hours later, the vampire Cain found us again, this time without hesitation. The alarm horn sounded. His horde began to circle the tower. Witch hunters shouted orders while Anastasia blocked Cain's path. He was clever. He moved across the rooftops while his army kept the Daughters of Iron occupied. Worse still, as soon as Anastasia stood alone, Ophelia struck her from behind. The two vampires had set a trap. They moved so fast I was certain Anastasia would soon be dead. I couldn't help her. We were fighting undead archers below. Then I heard a scream. Ophelia had been badly wounded. Anastasia smashed Cain with her shield, throwing him from the ledge.
But that was not enough.
Cain transformed into a monstrous bat, grotesque, horrifying, and flew back up to where Anastasia stood. Before she could finish Ophelia, he lunged at her. She wounded him with her sword, but he managed to push her from the tower. I will never forget that sound. Her body hit the ground with such force that I could hear bones breaking, the crushing metal of her armor folding inward. The Daughters of Iron surged forward, trying to save her. From what? No one could survive that. Did they truly believe their own legends? Then a second horn sounded through the chaos. From the far side of the river, 2 mage war bands were advancing toward the tower, exactly where the first company was stationed. There were too many of them, and too few of us. I had to go. But we were surrounded by the dead, so I followed the witch hunters. It was the only way out. As the sisterhood tore through the undead with brutal ferocity, bones shattering, flesh ripping, I saw something that horrified me even more. Anastasia's corpse moved. She was alive. Her crushed armor had collapsed her lungs, stopping her breath. I rushed to her side and tore the armor away. As soon as she was free, she stood up as if nothing had happened and began walking back toward the tower. Cain saw it all. He had to choose: take the relics of the tower or save Ophelia. He chose her, fleeing the tower with Ophelia on his back. I had no time left. I crossed the canal and ran toward Cordelia and the others. In vain. When I arrived, there was only a pile of corpses. Cordelia knelt among them, desperately trying to save someone. I felt an emptiness in my chest. Somehow, I already knew. My brother. Ulrich died doing what he always did, protecting those he loved. Cordelia had been surrounded, and he held off the robbers alone. It cost him his life. The 2 war bands hadn't expected such resistance. One fled after clashing with the Daughters of Iron. The other was completely obliterated by our forces. For a moment, I stared at Ulrich, hoping, foolishly, that he would rise as Anastasia had, that maybe I could still save him. He did not move. Not long after, the second company emerged from the tower, victorious and unaware of the tragedy. They marched through the streets, chanting, while behind them, in a ruined house, Cordelia and I mourned the dead. The laughter and joy ended quickly when they saw the carnage. Some soldiers tried to comfort me, but to no avail. I could not leave my brother's side. There is something wrong with the wind, Ian. You were right. Every breath fills my chest with hatred. I will leave this journal to you as the last remaining piece of affection within me. Many will believe that I am gone, and in a way, they will be right.